What's up everybody, it's Dragon from Strong Dragon Training, and today I want to start off the instructional video with just paying a little bit of a tribute to the late Planet workout. Yes, this was my very first gym that I started renting out to take my clients way back, years back, and over the years I've gotten really it really became like a family place, you know. I ended up knowing everybody, and it was just a place where I would go once I'm done with training, once I'm done with everything, just disconnect and everything. So it was a fun place, you know. It grew up to be like a second home type idea, mainly because I was pretty much there every single evening. But I know some people watching this video are gonna feel the same way as me. Yes, I do miss that place, Dean, my brother, but hey, unfortunately it's gone now, so we gotta keep on moving forward. But we'll always remember that place as the place we had lots and lots of fun. But anyways, back to our video for today. I want to go with you guys today through the upright rows and the whole idea of how to do the exercise correctly. Okay, basic things about this exercise we're going to learn today. We're going to go pretty much as low as, if you're walking into the gym for the very first time in your life, you should know how to do this exercise just by watching this video. So let's get right through it. Ideally for this exercise, you will need a straight bar, and I'm going to do them both, but for sake of space over here, I'm going to start with the easy curl bar. It's not that's going to do much of any kind of difference to your back, because the purpose of this exercise is A, to work your traps, and B, to work your mid delts, right? So that's why you're gonna see this exercise sometimes programmed on back days, and some people like to program it on shoulder days. So I don't disagree with one or the other, because it works both muscles. And depending on the width of the grip, you will work more on the outside attachment of the traps, or the narrower you go, the more on the inside on those traps you work. So again, I will bring the straight bar as well, but for now we're gonna stick with the easy bar again for sake of space. So right now I'm grabbing this bar, no kind of weight, no nothing. I am grabbing it as wide as my hands go. So what's gonna happen? Going nice and down right in front of your thighs. The whole idea of the legs is going to be something very simple. You're going to keep your feet shoulder width apart, just slightly bent on the knees, and engage the core as much as you can. So with the wide grip like this one, wide overhand grip, nice good grip on the bar, you're going to roll your shoulders back, engage your upper back, because that's the main exercise that is working, and you're going to pull as close as you can to your chin. Pull up as close as you can. Now, if you notice, coming a little bit closer over here, from the side, notice how much lower my bar is as compared to the shoulders. You don't want to end up over here. This is wrong. Your elbows should always be above bar level. So whether your flexibility is super good and you're able to bring it to your chin, whether your flexibility is poor and you bring it always, or rather just up to here, the key thing is not to have this happen either. While bending the wrist is fine when you go with very lightweight, as in, I shouldn't say fine, it's not fine, it feels okay and it doesn't hurt when you do it with lightweight. When you do it with heavyweight, this type of motion is going to be extremely painful, and you're gonna end up with a very bad injury in your wrist. So the idea is you gotta lift it up as high as you can while still keeping the wrist straight. So notice how I'm up here, I'm keeping the wrist tight, and I'm lifting as high as possible. Coming from the back, I engage and pull, pull, and pull, okay? So notice how my traps engage for this exercise. Now, from here, another reason why I sometimes prefer to use the easy bar over the regular straight bar is because I can give easier cues to my clients and where to grab the bar. Because you can technically work the upright rows in 3 different angles. All depends on how good your wrists are. Generally, the widest one is the easiest one to work when it comes to your wrist, as in it has the less tension on your wrists. You're going a little bit more inwards, so I technically tend to cue them and grab in the middle of the dull gray part of the bar. So from here, again, same idea, you're back, you're engaged, boom, you pull up, boom, you pull up. Again, you do not allow your wrist to bend and you keep your elbows above the bar. If you get to the point where the elbows end up like this, you're done. You gotta take a rest. Again, from the side, you are in position, pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, okay? From the back, engage the shoulder blades, pull up as close as you can to your chin. That is your goal. And last but not least, the narrowest grip possible. This is where I find most of my clients, most of my people have a little bit of a problem with their wrists. So especially if they have weak wrists, this is a problem area. Grabbing it super narrow like this. Ideally, you want it narrow. The narrower you go, the more inside towards the middle of the back you work on your traps. So you pull it in narrow from here, same idea, feet shoulder width apart, slightly bent, engage the back, pull up to the chin. Now, if your wrists end up that your elbows are way too low and you have this kind of a bend on the wrist, you're in the red again. Not a good idea. It's gonna take more wear and tear on the wrist. Keep it up all the time and keep the wrist as straight and as in line with your forearm as you can. If you need to, you may open up to the first bend of the easy bar. So from here, you engage, build, fix, boom, up, okay? So I'm gonna keep it with the narrowest one. Remember, you only do the narrow if your wrist allows for that. Otherwise, open up. Technically on an easy bar is on the first bend of the bar, or if you want to go on a straight bar, which I'll do in a couple of minutes, you can have it approximately 2 grips, right? So 2 hand grips apart. So from here, you engage and on the narrow, up, okay? From the back, engage, be fixed, up. Again, the same idea stays. You have to keep those elbows to be above your wrist level. If they go below, you're putting too much tension on the wrist and you have completely taken your traps out of the equation. Now, while your mid deltoids are working, you don't want to engage too much of your front delts, which is when you're starting to do this kind of a motion, your rotator cuff, your front delts, they take over the entire exercise. So now, let's quickly go through the straight bar so I can give you guys an idea and some good clue onto how to use that one, and then we'll talk about the breathing. All right, so here we go. A nice big straight bar. This is an actual Olympic bar, so it's 45 pounds. What you're gonna do with this one, wide grip means, if you ever notice on the Olympic bars, you have this little ring over here. My cue towards my clients is for the wide upright rows, your pinky is on the ring. From here, just like with the easy bar, you engage, shoulders back, pull up, okay? Now, one big advantage while going with a straight bar as opposed to easy bar is easy bars generally are the short bars, the small ones, the 25-pound bars. So they don't allow you for this much of an opening. If you are targeting to kick your mid deltoids as much as possible on top of your upper back or your traps as well, you need a straight bar because this allows you to open wide. And as you notice from this one as compared to my easy bar portion, this allows me to open up a little bit more and really engage first and foremost the outside most of my trapezius and my mid deltoids. They are working and they are on fire while doing this one. The next part, if you notice on the bar between this ring and the inside ring before the bar becomes smooth again, the rough part of the bar, that is what I use for a cue as the mid grip. So I say index finger over the innermost ring, so the one that's right before where the bar comes smooth. And yes, most Olympic bars will come with the same design as mine, so the rough part and the smooth part in the middle. Shoulder width again apart on the feet, slightly bent. Engage the core by sucking the abs in, tighten them out. Back, roll back the shoulders and engage. Pull up. Pull up as close as you can to your chin. Do not allow the elbows to go below your wrists. And finally, inner grip. Again, most Olympic bars are designed the same, so right in the middle of the bar, you have another rough path. I usually indicate, I use as a cue, index finger over the ring right before the rough part of the bar, the middlemost rough part. So that's super narrow. I engage, feet apart, back straight, pull to the chin. Pull to the chin. Again, this one you also have to be careful when you move on your shoulder joint itself, the rotator cuff. If the bar is heavy, and sometimes I find even myself, my rotator cuff gets a little bit painful if I have too much weight in such a narrow grip. So sometimes I tend to open up a little bit more to keep the weight, still hit the traps right in the center, and get the mid deltoids out of it. So there's all these different considerations you have to take, but everything revolves around your wrists not to hurt, your shoulders not to hurt, and your elbows not to drop below your wrist level. If you remember these points with any standing upright rows, you'll be doing amazing, okay? Now, just a quick little touch up on the breathing. If you don't remember from my other videos, every time you exert or you flex a muscle, you breathe out. That's my rule of thumb. So, I'm just grabbing a random grip right now, staying on the middle grip. I'm engaging everything and listen to my breathing. Out, going up, in, coming down. Out, going up, in, coming down. When you go up with the bar, you engage everything in your back and your mid delts. When you're coming down, everything is relaxing and stretching. That's when you breathe in. Imagine that when you're pulling and you're getting that force out of the muscle, you're actually trying to help yourself by pushing out. It's like you're giving that propel of power to your arms to pull the bar up. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope I was clear enough in explaining the upright rows. Just a quick little recap. The muscles that you're trying to work with this exercise are the trapezius and the mid deltoids. Some people say it's just one, some people say it's just the other. I'm one of the people that say it's both. Both are working, both are engaging just as much. So you can plan them on your shoulder day or you can plan them on your back day. They're good for both, or do them on both if they don't come right after the other. So one day you have in the shoulders and the next day right after you have the back. So be careful how you plan that. But from the point of view, you have 3 grips that you can use on this bar: the wide grip, middle grip, and narrow grip. Always be careful about your wrists, so never let them bend in any way, shape, or form. Be careful on your shoulder, especially on the narrow grips. You're not trying to feel any kind of crackling or any kind of tension or pulling in the shoulders. If you do, wind up the grip just a little bit. Keep the elbows above your wrist. None of this lifting. It has to be up. The elbows have to be up in order to engage the back properly, to engage the deltoids properly, and to keep any joints from hurting. And when you breathe on these ones, breathe out as you go up, breathe in as you come down. Any other questions you may have, guys? It is a very straightforward exercise, but it's also an exercise you can injure yourself very easily with, especially on the joints that I mentioned earlier. So if you have questions, if you're still not sure, feel free to comment below. Feel free to leave me some questions. I will answer them as soon as I can. But until I hear from you guys, click that subscribe button, click the like button, and follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, and especially on YouTube. I'll be posting more and more of these videos. I'll try to stay as consistent as possible. There's a gazillion exercises out there, and I'm planning on covering them, all of them, in every angle, in every shape, and in every form. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. My name is Dragos from Strong Dragon Training. Push until you reach a wall, and then break through it. Catch you guys on my next video.